everybody's favorite, literally everybody's favorite Scott Hall passed away. Facts. The age of 60. It was literally, if you watch pro wrestling, everybody was on. My mama, hey, did you? I saw something about the wrestler, like, you know, but it's crazy because it's always them things where like somebody pass away, and then you start to hear how much they meant to everybody, and like and it seemed like Scott Hall was cool. He was cool with everybody?
I wouldn't trust any story you heard in the last week about him being cool with everybody, especially when they came and ran roughshod through WCW's NWO and the Outsiders. They rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but they sent a lot of people's money up too.
Everybody.
Yeah, the famous that's a cool finisher. I can't wait to kick out of it for the Dudleys, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Is he wrong?
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah,
he's a dick.
But he was probably gonna be right. Like,
he's a dick.
What's the quote? You want to make friends or you want to make money?
I'm saying, like,
said, in this business you can make two things: friends or money. He's like, oh, I got friends.
And what was that word you used, Davis? Business. Like he was one of those guys that was really about the
after
business.
A certain point. Yeah.
No, I mean, you know, I think as a creative individual, as well as somebody who performed in ring, like he understood what was going on in the crowd, I don't know if it feels like he was hearing people talking, and maybe it is because people you have rose tinted glasses after somebody passed, but he was the catalyst for it. It's hard to deny that he was the catalyst for a lot of shit.
He was the first one to walk down that crowd in the denim fit and say, you know, you don't know who I am and you don't know why I'm here. Like,
but it started before that.
Oh, I know, but I'm just like he's the first guy coming down, and he's kind of the one in the clique that really made the clique kind of like the thing right after Shawn and Diesel had already kind of said they were together. But
was he the one? He was the swag. I know fan hates that word, but he was the swag.
When I'm gonna keep it a buck, I was watching. Shout out to the enemies. I was watching the enemies, and they were talking and shit, and just talking about their first memory of Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, whatever. And I was like, yo, what I remember was this nigga wearing a denim jumper, rhinestones on that motherfucker, and he had the one strap hanging off as the diamond stud. So he was always on some like I got that I'm that nigga type shit.
My dad said that was his guy. Like he liked the diamond stud. When he saw Razor Ramon, he was kind of like, but he liked the diamond stud.
I remember the diamond stud was probably the first time I saw Scott Hall.
That was the first time I remember seeing Scott Hall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that shit that used to be on ESPN.
AWA.
You know what I mean? He was on that, if I'm not mistaken.
I saw that later though. When he had the mustache and everything. I saw that later.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't see that at first, right?
They did run old shit like it was new. You're right. And that could have been it too.
I'm not even saying that for you. I'm just saying for me. I remember Diamond Stud just like I remember Oz before Diesel and all that other shit. Like but it was actually always funny because goddamn, let me get this. Cal, get your shit together.
Hey yo.
I had to drop that because that's been a drop that's been around for a minute again. This ain't no bullshit. It ain't no bullshit. But you always saw these two ran at the same time. But I seeing the two of them be the cats that kind of said, hey, you don't know who we are. You know what I mean? And like really taking it to WCW. I always appreciated that because I rocked with the whole, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole idea of them being the guys that were invading. It was cooler than a fucking Tito Santana or somebody doing some lame ass nigga doing it.
That nigga was 16 when this happened.
Yeah, again, it had to be someone that had swag, and him as Razor Ramon. That
was Razor.
But yo, I remember the wild shit is his vignettes rang off for like 3 months. And he would have, it was always some fly shit where he was
sounds like Vermahan right now.
He was spitting the apple on motherfuckers.
He had the gold and shit on.
The golds on. Hey, Chico. And his first, if I'm not mistaken, I think Graham was saying this. He came in, his first feud was Macho Man, right?
Early.
And I think he was feuding with Macho Man off the rip.
Let me check. That makes sense.
Because that's when that Uza Machismo shit started.
But that's also how they booked back in the day. Like Vince, because Mr. Perfect was the same shit. You know, when they felt somebody was gonna, they wanted to at least put that person out there as that guy. Dog. They invested in it.
Dog, it's 3 motherfuckers two that I've said on the show. But Scott Hall will be the third. Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, and Scott Hall. These three motherfuckers that was deserving of runs.
Yeah. People were talking about how he had never gotten a WWF championship, or just like
that's what I was about to say. I mean, he was kind of one of those guys that wasn't passed over, but just for some reason didn't get it. Especially in the era he was in, was we have to get off of steroids, like really have to get off of steroids and say, you know, we're clean, and they didn't make him champ. He was like a multi-time IC champion, and that's why you think he probably became about business after a while, because I'm never going to be the top guy, but I have all these tools and I'm obviously over, so I'm going to go and get the money. Like,
and then he was the first nigga that I recall with all the flavors.
Facts.
All his shit was flavored. Like he had the yellow tights, he had the red tights, he had the pink tights, he had the purple horse, the green horse, the
green
black
ones. Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, he wear the pink ones in 2K.
the literal drip.
Facts. That Outsiders logo is kind of crazy.
Yeah, with the paint dripping down. Yeah.
Fuck it. It looked like blood and shit, like on his trunk.
Yeah.
Hard.
But I think the NWO is more the pain when he has the NWO black and white. And that's thing, like, I mean, fuck Hulk Hogan, but the NWO was cool, and it was because Scott Hall.
Yeah, no, facts.
Yeah, facts. That's facts.
The niggas come down to the ring with backwards Tupac headbands, and you know what I mean?
I'm a hockey jersey fan. There's one shot of them in the crowd, and Scott Hall's got the LA Kings jersey on. Damn.
With a baseball bat.
And they was rocking lugs and shit. Like they was into it was 95.
Yo, I remember, I still to this day, when I go through, like, if I'm coming around a corner and I go through I could be at work.
Right.
And I come around a corner and walk through like a double door. I always do this shit. And then you know what I mean? And motherfuckers is looking like, yo, this nigga is. Wait till we drug test this nigga.
Facts.
Yo, every time you at the restaurant after dinner, they give you the toothpick.
Facts. Oh.
And he's also responsible for Sting. So you should be the Crow, man.
Facts. He said you saw that movie, The Crow.
I'm pretty sure backstage he didn't use the.
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
Terrible Cuban accent.
I would hope not. Because that wouldn't fly today. What it is. R.I.P. Scott Hall.
I really didn't get to see Scott Hall. That was the thing. Right when I started watching, like he was done.
You didn't see Scott
How
Hall?
about that?
When I was really watching consistently in 2003, I think I just had always seen his face because I had this Goldberg VHS tape, but I never really saw Scott Hall.
You never played motherfucking Royal Rumble on Super Nintendo, my nigga.
Right.
And when
I forget which wrestling arcade game I played. The ones that like was super weird.
Look crazy.
Arcade.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. WrestleMania arcade game.
Wait, Drip. So you've never watched like a Razor Ramon match?
I've seen a few, but I've seen a few. Yeah,
You've never watched the ladder match. From
I've seen the. No, I've
10?
seen the ladder match. Yeah, of course.
You do know he was the first nigga doing the fall away slam, right?
The sack of shit slam. Yeah.
You do know that came from him fucking up, right?
On who? No, I don't.
This is wild shit.
Dude. You ever watch his match with 1-2-3 Kid? The one where he
upsets him.
Where he made 1-2-3 Kid.
Yo, I love that angle. I love that whole thing.
That was on Raw. That's back when. That's why niggas would watch Raw, because you could on a Monday night, some little skinny Danhausen looking motherfucker would get turned into like legit. It was legit, just like Scott Hall. Like, yo, Sean Waltman.
Nah, he was no name.
The Lightning Kid, the Kamikaze Kid, the Cannonball Kid.
Nigga
all that until he pinned him. Then he was the 1-2-3 Kid.
Chaz the Lightning Kid.
Gave him his name. But the wild shit was because Sean Waltman was one of those cats who that's facts down there, Shelly Belly. Sean Waltman was one of those cats who he and I think he understands that he has to owe a lot of his career to Razor. 1-2-3 Kid. But because there was that point where he left WWE, but he was injured or whatever, and he was like, he was down with WCW, but he wasn't around, and he still he would rock the 6 T-shirt.
Oh, I think he said that's when he was injured during his time in WCW before he came back and they let him go.
Still in all,
the whole can't cut the mustard.
He didn't have to do. He did not have to do all that.
But out of all the guys in the clique, I mean, it's probably Triple H and Sean Waltman that owe the most to Hall, Nash, and HBK, obviously. I mean, I guess the only real version of Scott Hall I saw was when he had made the comeback in a TNA, but that went off the rails right as it started.
Nah, right.
When Bischoff and Hogan and them all showed up and they were going to have the real Monday Night War, and he had showed up the one night and that he was supposed to have a match and he didn't have the match, and it was like, oh, I kind of know why, because I had already read he had his demons, which was the unfortunate thing. That kind of
So it's JR really got that over, didn't he?